How we doing out there? This is the Cool Club. I am the Glitch Trap. Bang, bang, bang. I want to go ahead and get into the review for They Cloned Tyrone because this was an amazing film. I love this film. I like this movie, man. This movie is a this movie is directed by Jewel Taylor, and I have to take my hat off to this director. Joel Taylor, he's amazing. He did an amazing job with this film. Again, you don't hear me. I know recently I've been crapping on a lot of movies lately. Hey, man, I don't do it. I don't do it because I want to. I mean, I just got to give my honest opinion and review. But They Clone Tyrone. This film was a very interesting film. Rotten Tomatoes gave this film a 92%. Google users, 95% of people liked it. IMDb, not so much, so gave it a 6.7 out of 10. But, IMDb deals with so many films. Again, it's, but listen to me. Like, this movie here is worth the watch. I will tell you that. And especially, it doesn't matter what nationality or demographic, but this is a movie that I think that African Americans would definitely appreciate. It has a lot of themes that we can all relate to, but definitely African American people can relate to. This film premiered at the American Black Film Festival. It had a limited theatrical release on July 14th before streaming on Netflix on July 21st. Again, this movie, it received positive reviews from critics, and mostly the people love this movie. I definitely again have to take my hat off to I take my hat off to everybody that in the film. John Boyega. Man, John Boyega, you redeemed yourself, man. You redeemed yourself. Like, we're gonna do the good, bad, and the ugly in just a second, but I have to say, man, John Boyega, you redeem yourself. Jamie Foxx does, and then a special shout out to him because I know he's going through a lot of things in his health, and people and he can't. He's trying to keep his in his real life. He's trying to keep his personal health to himself, like, and he doesn't want people, he said himself, he didn't want people to see him all sick and on tubes. But you have people saying that he's a real life clone in real life. Yes, you have some people in the African American community who are saying that Jamie Foxx is a real life clone, and I think that's terrible, and you do him a disservice because Jamie Foxx he's produced a lot of good films. He's been in a lot of good things. Ray, Jamie Foxx gave us got a lot of good entertainment. You consume the entertainment, but then crap on the person. I don't like that. But Jamie Foxx did a great job. He played a pimp in the film, and also Tiana Paris did a great job. Tiana Paris, she played a prostitute. She was great in the film. The whole dynamic, between her, John Boyega, and Jamie Foxx, they crushed this film. The supporting actors, Jamie Foxx's the rival, the guy that he was the rival drug dealer that he was into it with, crushed it. Did a great job. You've seen him before in films, but everyone, even from all the way to the actor Kiefer Sutherland who played in 24. Yeah, Kiefer Sutherland who played the villain in the film, and he did a great job as well. He is a great villain. Kiefer Sutherland did, like, we used to seeing him as playing a hero in 24, but don't forget Kiefer Sutherland played in a movie with Alicia Silverstone where he played like a serial killer, murderer, rapist, and he played one of the greatest villains you ever saw on movie screen. So he did a great job in this film too. That's part of the good. The good of this movie is the actors. So we're gonna get into the good, bad, and the ugly right now. The good is the acting. The All of the characters did a great job. Even the lesser characters. There was a little kid that you're gonna see throughout the film that John Boyega's character bonds with. He's in the beginning of the film, and you see him through, like I said, throughout, just in small parts of the film. But he even does a great job. What else was like I said, Jamie Foxx, just the acting, the storyline was better than the storyline that you'll get from a Jordan Peele film, from that movie. What was that movie that Jordan Peele came out with? Us. This is a better storyline and definitely a lot more understandable and enjoyable than the movie Us. It's a lot. Jamie Foxx is funny. The comedy hits is on point. You don't get any like cringe moments out of this film. Though they have the themes of this film, it deals with racism, deals with the population control, Big Brother trying to control everybody, and especially in the ghettos. So these are stories that can be relatable, and especially, like I said, to the African American community, but everyone in the country can relate to this type of story and get into this. But just the heart of the film is there. John Boyega brings a different heart. Him and Jamie Foxx bring a different heart to this film. You could tell Jamie Foxx was into this as well. Like they both did a great job, and like I said, even everyone did a great job. Even Tiana Paris, she did a great job. The pacing of the film was great. I'll say the movie ran for 119 minutes, just a little under 2 hours, and every part of the film was utilized great, I would say. Now let's get into the bad. The bad is the storyline as well. I had to go to Wikipedia and really, like, you just refresh what was being said, the motive for the cloning. Like, you really want to understand that. And if you're not really paying attention, that can go by very quickly. They're not spending much time telling you that Kiefer Sutherland kind of has a short monologue of just basically telling you why the clones are created, and why they're even monitoring all the citizens in that town or ghetto or whatever, and they'll explain that. And at the end of the film, you get a short explanation of why, like who's behind it, and all of that. So they still do give you I would say, and again, the explanation is a lot better than the film Us. The movie Us from Jordan Peele, that film was, man, that storyline was very convoluted. That storyline made zero sense. Even when they explained it to you, it was so far-fetched, it made zero sense. This is a lot more compact and coherent, and it's understandable. But again, some people, you may have to go to Wikipedia to get the full understanding. But it has so much packed behind the things you don't see, or the things that you're not told. It has so much behind it. It's like the spirit of this film is great. The spirit of this film tells the story. It has a lot of heart. And what I mean, the spirit behind it is, like I said, the things you don't see, the things that it's alluding to, or the themes of of what they're trying to tell, the theme that they're trying to convey in this film. It touches on a lot of things that can pull on the heartstrings of people who grew up in the ghettos, people, like I said, who just grew up in America, period, and who's been taught this history of slavery, racism. You see the things going on between in with politicians and impoverished places of the country. We've seen Jim Crow. We know that there have been strategic things placed into black ghettos and communities to destroy them. You understand? This is just something we know. This is a truth. So these films, this isn't like a this is paying homage to black exploitation films, and it's also playing homage to, it has elements of satire, mystery, horror, science fiction, humor. So this to call like this has nothing really, like the only thing that has to do with black exploitation in this film is the fact what that Jamie Foxx was a pimp. Like none of this and and that um none of this really, like I said, just screamed black exploitation to me. Like the fact that what Tiana Paris was a prostitute, I don't, I didn't get that from this film. Like, so not in a negative way, you know. But the bad again was just the story. As far as like the unexplained things of the story, like you may not, like they kind of went through these things fast, so you may have to go look it up on Wikipedia. But as far as the ugly of this film, I don't have any. I don't have any ugly for this film. Nope, I just don't. So with that being said, I'll rate this film a 9 out of 10. Yes, a 9 out of 10. The only thing that could have been better to get this a 10 out of 10, maybe tweak a little bit more of the humor. It's for what I mean, like Jamie Foxx is funny, but some of the jokes, some of the things that like it's like he kind of like you could have just tweaked the dialogue to make it a little bit more funny in certain instances. Like when he's with when he's with it around speaking to his prostitutes and speaking to them, like he kind of tweaked the dialogue a little bit, but still Jamie Foxx did a great job. I would also say, like I said, the story, explaining a little bit more explanation of the story of why, the clone of why they're doing the cloning, and the initial reason of the person who's behind it. Like I like that fact, the reason, the main villain's reason for doing what they do. I do like that, but they could have just took a little bit more time to emphasize like what it to the audience, like this is what's going on, like this, we're explaining it now, you need to know this. Like I don't know, it's just like they subtly jabbed it in, like it just meshed into everything else, and it's like you want to stop the people and let them know, like here we go, here's the story, here's why we're doing it, here's this, unless you just wanted to leave it vague, but that's not what they did. But still, 9 out of 10 for They Cloned Tyrone. With that being said, this is the Cool Club. I am the Glitch Trap. I'm gone.